Israel's conversations, couch conversations, couch conversations, conversations.
Peace and welcome back to another couch conversation. We will pick it up with 2 Corinthians chapter 9. And I don't want to waste any time. Let's go ahead and start off with verse 1.
All right.
Oh, and make sure you get your Bible, paper, pen, and take notes.
Okay. 2 Corinthians 9 and 1. For as touching the ministering to the saints, it is superfluous for me to write to you. For I know the forwardness of your mind, for which I boast of you to them of Macedonia, that Achaia was ready a year ago, and your zeal hath provoked very many.
All right, so Paul is saying, as touching the ministering to the saints, or in this sense, giving, in terms of giving to the saints financially, it is superfluous for me to write unto you that, just a reminder to be redundant, that I tell you, that I write to you, for I know the forwardness of your mind, for which I boast of you to them of Macedonia, that Achaia was ready a year ago. That's what he was telling the Macedonians, that the Corinthians that are in the region of Achaia, they are ready to give. They've been ready since last year. And your zeal have provoked many, and that your mind and want to give has stirred up other people to want to give as well. Verse 3.
Verse 3. Yet have I sent the brethren, lest our boasting of you should be in vain in this behalf, that as I said, ye may be ready.
He said, but I done sent some brethren to you, lest our boasting of you should be in vain in this behalf. In behalf of what? In terms of y'all saying y'all was ready to give.
Yeah. Come there, got lint in your pocket.
Yeah, and now I done did all that voting. They been ready. They got the money. They ready to send it down. And I believe in this case it was to the saints in Jerusalem. It says that as I said, you may be ready. So we don't come to you and it ain't really what, because we know you Hebrews.
You done boasting on them and they ain't got nothing.
Nah, I look bad.
Make you look bad.
Verse 4.
Verse 4. And I just realized I ain't had glasses on first, but I'm doing well without them.
Not bad.
All praises to the
All
Most High. My
praises.
sight coming back.
Yep.
Less happily, if they of Macedonia come with me and find you unprepared.
Meaning that we end up if I end up coming with Macedonians who I brag to about you to pick up this contribution.
Yes.
And then we find you unprepared. It ain't even ready to be picked up so we can take it to the saints in Jerusalem. See, that lets you know you got to know the people you dealing with.
That's right.
You got to know Israel. You can't play around with them.
Know them that labor among you. You sure better know Israel. In finishing it off, it says, we say not ye should be ashamed in this same confident boasting.
So I don't want to end up being ashamed and boasting about you being that you were going to give and you were going to have all these contributions ready. And then we come, you don't know what nothing, that ain't nothing been accounted for.
Yeah.
You looking at us like deer to headlights.
Like, huh?
Now we looking silly.
Yes.
Came all this way for nothing.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen.
Okay, so let's go to 1 Corinthians 16, 1 through 5.
Okay. 1 Corinthians 16.
Y'all excuse the music going on in the background.
Yep.
We in Goshen.
That's right. And Goshen always lit. Yes. Okay. 1 Corinthians 16 and 1 says, now concerning the collection for the saints, as I have given order to the churches of Galatia, even so do ye.
And so that's what Paul was talking about when he said concerning the ministering of the saints. He's talking about taking up these offerings, this collection for the saints.
And it says, upon the first day of the week, let every one of you lay by him in store, as God hath prospered him, that there be no gatherings when I come.
Verse 3.
And when I come, whomsoever you shall approve by your letters, them will I send to bring your liberality unto Jerusalem. And if it be meet that I go also, they shall go with me. Now, I will come unto you when I shall pass through Macedonia, for I do pass through Macedonia.
And we see he did because we're reading it over here in 2
Yes.
Corinthians. He's saying, I'm going to come with the Macedonians.
Yes. Okay.
Verse 6.
Oh,
That was
one
it.
to
Verse.
five?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, now let's go to Romans chapter 15 and read verses 25 through 26.
Okay.
Because we're just looking at this collection, that he's talking about, that he's taking up.
Okay. Romans 15 and 25 says, But now I go unto Jerusalem to minister unto the saints, for it hath pleased them of Macedonia and Achaia
We just read that in 2 Corinthians.
to make a certain contribution for the poor saints which are at Jerusalem.
And I believe that's what they were doing here in that, when he was talking about in verse 2. That's what they were doing, taking up this collection so they could take it to the saints that were in Jerusalem.
Not the pastor, but to the saints.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to 2 Corinthians 9 and pick it up with verse 5.
Okay.
And this one isn't going to be a very long lesson.
Yeah, it's almost repetitive of the last
chapter before. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, but Paul have to do this because Israel's so hard-headed. You have to keep put it to them 2-3 different ways so they'll get it. Okay. 2 Corinthians 9 and 5. Therefore, I thought it necessary to exhort the brethren that they would go before unto you and make up beforehand your bounty.
All right, so that's why I sent the brethren to you to go before us to you, so that they can get this collection together.
And whereof ye had notice before, that the same might be ready as a matter of bounty and not as of covetousness.
Okay, let's go to verse 6.
But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully.
Let's go to Proverbs chapter 11, verses 24 through 25. So if you sow sparingly, you will reap sparingly. So you give a little, you're going to get a little. Give a lot, you're going to get a lot.
That's right.
And he's using something they were familiar with because they were an agricultural society. So they understood the reap-sow method.
That's right. Okay. Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 24. It says, There is that scattereth, and yet increaseth. And there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but it tendeth to poverty. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself.
All right, so there is that scattereth, and yet that's the person that's sowing,
Yep.
and yet increase.
That's right.
That's the one who gives.
Yep.
And then they increase what? Increase what? Financial. They get blessed in every area of their life.
Every.
And there is that withholdeth more than meat. You know, that stingy
Yep.
person don't want to give nothing. I ain't giving nothing.
Yep. Closed hand.
Closed hand. It said that it's going to tend to poverty. You going to end up needing.
That's right. And your
you
hands
gonna
closed,
reap
how
that.
everything gonna get in there.
And then guess what? Other people. So if your hands are closed, guess what? When you need, your hands, they hands gonna be closed.
Yep.
It says, but the liberal soul, this is the person that's generous. This is the person that gives,
Yes.
shall be made fat. That's wealth. And that's just not financial. That's in every area.
Yes, that's right.
And he that watereth shall be watered also himself. And so if you water, what you gonna increase?
Yes, that's right. Because water makes things grow.
That's right. Okay, let's go back to 2 Corinthians 9 and pick it up with verse 7.
Okay. Verse 7 says, Every man according as he purposed in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loveth a cheerful giver.
And you know, Mama, you explained that last week. There's something similar was said in that last chapter. You know, but it says, give according to what you've purposed in your heart. Not grudgingly. Like, oh, I want to give this.
Every time I look up, Macedonia's big. No.
Or of necessity. So don't give if you know you can't give. Now you in the hole. We got to come rescue you.
Yeah, so now that's two.
Because you call yourself giving when you know you need to sit down somewhere.
That's right.
But you know these new pastors today, they don't want you to see
Give
that.
till it hurt.
Give it till it hurt, girl. Let your harvest. For God loveth a cheerful giver. Okay, verse 8.
Verse 8. And God is able to make all grace abound toward you.
Right, because God is going to increase. When you give, then God is going to take care of you.
Yes.
That's what he's saying.
That you always having all sufficiency in all things may abound to every good work.
He going to make sure your barns fill.
Yes.
So you can
Take
continue
care.
to do the work. So you can continue to help and be helped.
That's right. And that's the way it should be. You know, you should always be a cheerful giver. You know, happy to assist the less fortunate, those among Israel that doesn't have what you have.
Right.
You know, get them get back on their feet.
Right. But we got that Babylonian mind. Well, me is me.
Yeah,
And if you ain't got it, you on your own.
that's right.
You better get it like I had to get it.
And that's the wrong
You
mindset.
can't find that in the book.
No. It's all about me, myself, and I.
Okay, let's go to Proverbs 22 and verse 9.
That's the Trinity they need to preach. Me, myself, and I.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Proverbs 22 and 9.
Yes, ma'am.
It says, He that hath a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he giveth of his bread to the poor.
Oh, so it don't say get it how you live.
No.
You better get on out there and make it work.
That's right. It don't say that.
It said he that have a bountiful eye. So that means you have a generous eye. You always looking. See, how can I help somebody? Not hurt somebody, but how can I help?
Help them.
Looking out for others' needs other than your own.
Yes. Looking for that opportunity to be a blessing.
It said that bountiful eye shall be blessed. So what's the opposite of that? You be cursed if you the opposite.
Yes.
For he giveth of his bread to the poor.
Yes. Give it to the poor. And Zahar, can we read Psalms 41?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And
Yes,
verse
ma'am.
1.
We sure can.
1 and 2.
Psalms 41, verse
And 3,
1.
actually. 1 through
So
3.
1 through 3? Okay. It says, let me let the editor get there.
Okay. This was just something I wanted to read. Psalms 41, 1 through 3.
Blessed is he that considereth the poor. The Lord will deliver him in time of trouble.
Oh, so this lets us know you're going to have a time of trouble. But the Lord going to refer back to those that needed help from you. Did you help them?
Verse 2. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive.
Think about that. Just from considering the poor and helping them. He said that the Lord will preserve him and keep him alive.
Boy, that's serious right there. And he shall be blessed upon the earth, and thou wilt not deliver him into the will of his enemies.
Oh, so we do have enemies, and you can't be delivered into their will, what they want to do to you on the job, in your neighborhood. You know, when you're out and about, people done devise devices against you. But the Lord gonna see how you consider the poor, because the poor can't defend themselves. But now you in a situation, you need help. So it's between you and God. Now, will he defend you? Not according to what he said. If you ain't help the poor, you defenseless.
Verse 3. The Lord will strengthen him upon the bed of languishing.
What?
Thou wilt make all his bed in his sickness.
All this is tied to helping, to being a blessing to the poor, being sick, being having a time of trouble.
Man,
I mean, just think about that. The will of your enemies. So the Lord considers the poor. So that means he takes that serious.
he take it real serious. I mean, it's tied into life or death.
Yes. That's right. That's right, Zara. It is
So,
tied in.
we got to work on that. We can't listen to Babylon. Babylon trying to get you
him
killed.
nothing. Yes, sir. All right.
Okay, that was a good one, Mom. I'm glad you went there. 2 Corinthians 9, and we'll read verses 9 and 10.
Okay. It says, as it is written, he hath dispersed abroad.
Not as it is written.
Yep. Here we go. Always
Quoting-
as it's written.
Quoting the
Always
the
the
law.
law. And he hath given to the poor.
He have dispersed abroad, man, given.
His righteousness remaineth forever.
Okay, verse 10.
Now he that ministers seed to the sower, both minister bread for your good, for your food, and multiply your seed sown, and increase the fruits of your righteousness.
And we know that it is God that ministers seed. He the one that gives
Yes.
seed to the sower. And he what? Minister bread for your food and multiply your seed sown. In other words, he the one that give it the increase. And increase the fruits of your righteousness. Let's go to Psalms 112 and verse 1.
Psalms 112.
And so that means, especially a lot of our people who sit in high positions, in Babylon, making all that money, and the rich of our
Yes.
people, they better be looking real hard at these scriptures.
Yes. Yep. Yes, sir. Psalms 112 and verse 1. Praise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord, that delighteth greatly in his commandments.
See, that's the first step.
Yes.
That's why many people can't give and all that, because you don't fear the Lord, and you don't delight greatly in His. You don't delight greatly in His commandments, because if you did, you would be generous.
That's right.
Let's jump down to verse 9
Verse 9.
and see what this person who does fear the Lord and keep the commandments does.
Okay. It says, he have dispersed. He have given to the poor.
Didn't Paul say he dispersed?
Yes.
As it is written, this is where he got it
Yes. Paul always quoting something from the old. His righteousness endureth forever. His horn shall be exalted with honor.
from. Okay. And now let's go to Isaiah 55 and verse 10.
Okay.
Isaiah 55 and verse 10.
Okay. Okay, Isaiah 55 and 10 says, for as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater.
And that's why Paul said, now he that ministers seed to the sower. That's God who does that.
Yes.
And so Paul was quoting the law
Yes.
and the prophets. There was no Pauline doctrine.
Sure wasn't. He wasn't making up nothing.
Let's go to Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 6.
Right.
Y'all better quit listening to these liars. They'll get you killed.
Yes, sir.
They sound good, but they ain't no good.
Okay, Ecclesiastes 11 and 6 says, in the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thine hand. For thou knowest not whether shall prosper, either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good.
And that's basically what Paul was saying. So this is where he getting all of it from. You sow your seed, and in the evening withhold not your hand. And that's kind of what you do. That's what we read in what was that, Proverbs 11, the stingy person that
Yes.
try to hold on to it. He said you're gonna become impoverished that way.
That's right.
So don't withhold your hand. You give where you can.
That's right.
Don't put yourself in, no kind of financial crisis, but give where you can.
That's right.
It is better to give than to receive. Okay, Hosea chapter 10, verses 12 through 13.
Okay. Okay, Hosea 10 and verse 12 says, sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy. Break up your fallow ground. For it is time to seek the Lord, till he come and rain righteousness upon you. He hath plowed wickedness, ye have plowed wickedness, ye have reaped iniquity. You have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou didst not trust in thy way, in the multitude of thy mighty men.
So you trusted in your way. And see, when you do it your way, you do stuff like that.
Yes.
Well, you can't do righteousness because you're doing what you want to do.
That's right. And don't let nobody tell you that, okay, well, I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm just going to be free of any consequences. No, there's a reaping.
That's why it's sow to yourselves in righteousness, so you can reap in mercy. But I want to come here so you can see that dynamic.
Yes.
That Paul wasn't just saying whatever he wanted to say. No, he get this stuff from the law and the prophets.
Exactly.
And then also, God is showing us spiritually. When you give and stuff, and when you give financial and all that, that's the physical.
Yes.
But he want us to apply that to our spiritual lives.
That's right.
Because why? Paul said, and increase the fruits of your righteousness.
Of your righteousness. That's right.
Then it say, for it is time to seek the Lord till he come and rain righteousness upon you.
Yes. I like that.
Okay, so let's go back to 2 Corinthians 9 and verse 11.
Okay. 2 Corinthians 9 and 11 says, being enriched in everything to all bountifulness, which causes through us thanksgiving to God.
Okay, so being enriched in everything, and to be enriched means to be made wealthy. And then it says to all bountifulness, which causeth through us thanksgiving to God. Why? Because the work that you put in, the labor that you put in, whether it be financially, whether it be ministering the word of God, it brings praise, honor, and glory, thanksgiving.
Yes.
To God through your work. Let's go to Proverbs 10 and verse 22.
Okay.
Because it says, being enriched in everything to all bountifulness.
And we don't see what we do as a people as a reflection to God on
Yes.
God. Verse 22 of Proverbs 10, it says, the blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it.
So it's the Lord, the blessing of the Lord, not Babylon.
That's right. He ain't gonna tell a man you gotta wear a dress.
Yep.
Sisters get on this casting couch.
That's right.
He ain't gonna tell y'all that.
It said, it maketh rich, and he addeth
No sorrow.
Because you ain't gonna have no regrets and sorrow when God bless you.
That's right.
You gonna have it though with Babylon.
You're gonna have plenty of sorrow,
When you have
regrets.
to do shameful things and stuff that you wouldn't dare utter
Yes.
in public.
How come you think these people so crazy? Because they think about all this stuff they had to do just to get these little riches, and now they can't enjoy it. Like Terry Crews, man, grabbing your junk in the front, but you can't say nothing. Man, that's some sorrow for a person to do that in front of your wife.
Because you know they'll come take your riches, but you ain't got to worry about that with God.
Nope.
When you follow him, you got to worry about
You
that.
sure don't.
So, Okay, let's go back to 2 Corinthians 9 and verse 12 and 13. And the reason why I went there is because it is the Lord that gives us power to have wealth.
Yes.
Power to have understanding and wisdom, what to be used for his glory.
Yes.
It's not for you. Okay, so we'll finish it up with read verses 12 through 15.
Okay. 2 Corinthians 9 and 12 says, "For the ministration of this service not only supplieth the want of the saints, but is abundant also by many thanksgivings unto God. Whilst by the experiment of this ministration they glorify God for your professed subjection unto the gospel of Christ, and for your liberal distribution unto them and unto all men."
Now I want to stop right there so we can go to a few precepts. But it says, for the administration of this service, of what? Of your giving. Not only supply the want of the saints, you're helping them out, because they're in need.
Yes.
So not only are you supplying them, but it's abundant also by many thanks giving unto God, because you glorify God.
Yes.
For being able to give and they're receiving what you're giving them.
That's
And
right.
in verse 13, while the experiment of this ministration, because that's a test. You're being tested on, are you able to give? You do a lot of talking and you say what you're going to do, but when it come right down to it, can you give?
That's right.
They glorify God for your professed subjection unto the gospel of Christ, because you say you follow Christ.
That's right.
And so with this test coming of these saints that are in need, now they see, they
right.
bought it. They ain't
That's
just
right.
talking. They actually do exactly what they say they believe in. And for your liberal distribution unto them and unto all men. So they praise God for this, what you've given them, and how you said you stand for Christ and everything, and you're doing exactly what you said and giving.
That's right.
And our need has been met. Let's go to Matthew chapter 5 and verse 16.
Matthew 5 and verse 16. It says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven."
And that's what the saints did when they receive this collection. They're going to glorify God because you're letting your light shine by giving.
Yeah, that's
in
a
this
good work.
area, that's a good work. Okay, let's go to Proverbs 21 and 13.
Okay. Proverbs 21 and 13 says, "Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard."
So you're going to reap what you sow.
Oh, goodness.
And so the saints in Achaia, in Corinth, they heard the cry.
Yes,
They heard that there was a need in Jerusalem. And they answered it.
that's right. That's right.
But some stop at the act like they don't hear them, act like they don't need.
Yep, that's so true. That's dangerous.
Close my hand, I'm going to shut up my bowels.
But guess what? When you cry,
Because then, guess what? And then the Corinthians was going to need.
that's right.
And it usually be them same ones that you didn't help. They'll be the same ones that you be begging. Like,
Sure do.
help me.
Yes,
God got a sense of
he
humor.
sure do. He know how to do it to you, boy. This
He
God,
wait,
it's
he
really
load
no
them
joke.
up. He load them up and blessed them. You like, boy, they show blessed, prosperous now.
Yes.
And then boom, he hit you.
Now you crying. You need some help.
So that's not good to stop up your ears and act like you
No.
don't hear. We see that a lot here in Babylon.
Oh man, yes. Better get it like I got it.
People see you on the streets, they're right over you and keep going.
I work for this bag. You better go chase one like I did.
Matthew 10 and verse 42.
Okay. Matthew 10 and 42 says, "And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water."
Just water. So it ain't got to be money sometimes. Sometimes I just
Yes.
need some water. I need a plate. That's it.
It's just as simple as water and food.
And maybe some food. Might need some clothes. It ain't always got to be financial. It's just
No,
wherever
just
there's a
help.
need,
Yeah.
help.
A kind
If
word.
it's in your power to do it, do it. Don't hold it back.
Yes. Because sometimes a person might need a kind word.
And guess what? We don't even have to wait for a person to ask.
No.
You know when
already see.
somebody's in need. You got, well, I ain't gonna give unless they say so.
Yeah. That's right. They hold it back. I ain't give them nothing. But it says, "And whosoever shall give to drink one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward."
So giving is pretty serious.
Yes.
To God. That's what it looked like to me.
Yep.
Because he attaching this stuff to eternal life and,
Yes.
you know, rewards and all
Yeah.
that. You don't want to play with
That's
this.
how I
Life
would
or
do.
death. And if you're going to get off that sick
Bed,
bed.
that's right. You wouldn't help nobody, and not nobody gonna help you.
Proverbs 19 and verse 17.
Okay. Proverbs 19 and verse 17 says, "He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again."
Now think about this scripture. He said he that have pity, that's compassion.
Yes.
Upon the poor, lendeth unto the Lord.
Wow. To
That's
the
why the
Lord.
Lord said, you know, what's that one in Matthew 25 where he said, you didn't give
Yes, when you saw me hungry.
when you saw me hungry, when you saw me naked, when you saw I was thirsty.
When I saw you hungry.
So the Lord said, when you helping the poor, it's just like you're giving to me.
That's right.
Because see, what you don't know is the Lord is using you.
Yeah.
He uses us on this earth to do that part of his will.
That's right.
That's how he takes care of those who don't have.
That's right.
That's why he need you to do it. He don't really need you, but he's teaching us to be like himself.
That's right. That's what he's doing. Because don't he give you every day? You
Yeah.
wake up, you can walk, talk, see.
That's right.
You can hear, taste, smell. Got all that. You know, provide rain.
Right.
He's a giver. You can't be God given. And that's, I remember they sang that in the Christian church.
Oh, yeah.
They sung that every time it was offering time. You can't be God given. No matter how you try.
Yeah, that's true. But
Yes,
think about
sir.
it. He said, when you give to the poor, it's like you giving to me. So you
Yes.
thinking in your mind, oh, I'm just giving to the poor. He said, you giving it
Give
to me. And I'm going to what? Pay you again. You can count it.
Wow.
You can take it to the bank and back.
Yes, sir. Lord gonna pay you back.
And I'm witnessing my own life when I have helped others. That thing came right back. I mean, double, triple.
Yes.
God blew me away. I was like, whoa. And it wasn't like I was looking for it, you know, like, oh, I'm giving, I'm hoping the Lord, you know. No. It's just, the Lord is, I'm telling y'all, true to his word.
Yes. And compassion is something that it's almost like it's something you have to have in you.
Yes.
Can't teach compassion.
You can't.
It's something that's in you, something that naturally comes to you for the love of your people, you know, for the love of helping the poor.
And you know what, Mama? This is what God has been trying to work in Israel. We get so focused on who the four beast is and who is that woman in Revelation.
That's right.
Where's the wilderness
Yeah.
and all that. And don't get me wrong, those things are needful, you know, for
Yes.
teaching and stuff. But this is where the Lord really wants us to have it.
Yes, in these areas.
And you
here.
know, because he said in that day, many going to say, Lord, I did all these wonderful works and all that. And he going to say, depart from me.
Yes. As a matter of fact, we wouldn't be suffering if we'd have been doing all this. We wouldn't have had to worry about the woman, the 4 beasts. He wouldn't have sent them on us. If we'd have had compassion, we'd have kept the commandments, we would have did exactly what he told us to do. And, have that pitiful eye towards your brother.
We wouldn't be sitting here today.
We wouldn't.
Okay, so let's go ahead back to 2 Corinthians 9 and just go ahead and finish with 14 and 15.
Okay. Verse 14 of 2 Corinthians 9 says, and by their prayer for you, which long after you for the exceeding grace of God in you, thanks be unto God for his unspeakable gift.
So they were grateful.
Yeah.
And in prayer, thanking God. This relief was, you just don't know how you blessed their soul.
Bless
They
him.
cried out, and the Lord heard their cry. By what? Raising you up
Yes.
to help.
Well,
And this is something we need back in Israel.
Yes.
These days are long gone.
long gone.
Long gone.
Yes, and I've seen the subscribers here at Israel's church pour out exceeding, real. Y'all are some of the most blessed givers
I'm
I've
like,
ever
boy.
seen in my life. Yes, soon as the words are uttered, y'all are only blessing.
Y'all don't waste no time. I'm like, whew.
Yes,
So that's good. You want to have compassion. You can have all the knowledge. That's what Paul was saying. You can have knowledge and faith that can move mountains.
yeah,
But if you don't have love,
yeah.
you ain't got nothing. You can understand all mysteries.
That's right. Don't mean nothing.
But if you ain't got no love for your brother and sister, you just wasting time.
That's right.
So, well, I don't have no more to add, Mom, because I ain't got anything to
Oh,
add.
that was excellent. I enjoyed that.
All right. So, with that said, we will say
Shalom.
Israel's conversations. Couch